Alright, let's start homework 5. Go to this one. Alright, so our objective is to build a basic calculator with these operations. Ask the user for a number and the second number. So let's just do that. It's pretty simple. Number 1. And then same thing. Number 2 after that. So we need a scanner for this. So scanning s equals new scanner system dot in. Alright, now right over here we can do s dot next. This is gonna give us a string, so we don't really want that. S dot next int here as well. Alright, stored in here. Alright. Okay, so it's looking good, except we're not storing inside of any variable, so we can do int x, and then we can do like int y. Right, nice. Now, let's create... Oh, then we gotta ask for the operation, right? So let's do that. Let's just copy this. It can be like, what operation? One of the only values are gonna be add, sub, multi-div, right? And then we're gonna be like string operation op equals s dot next. Okay. Now, 2 of the classes need to be static methods, and 2 of them have to be non-static methods. Okay. Not that bad. So static methods. Static methods cannot directly access non-static methods. However, non-static methods can directly access static methods. Alright, so anyways, let's just create our methods. So, call the first, let's make addition and subtraction static. So this is how you make a method static. Public static equals, public static void if you don't want to return anything, but I think we do want to return something. We want to return integer. And the method name can be add, or add. Doesn't really matter. And we need to create outside the main method, so just like that. What is this? Right, so basically we need to return a value. And be like, just put a placeholder for now. Right? So in here, what's gonna happen? We're gonna take in 2 parameters. We're gonna take an int x and an int y. You can call it whatever you want in here, it doesn't matter. And we just want to return x plus y, right? It's very simple. Right, now let's do public static. It's called sub, okay? And what do you want to do? Take an x and y, return x minus y. Now let's create 2 non-static methods. How do you do that? You just don't do any, put static keyword, alright? Over here, let's call this sub, and let's call this multi, okay? And so what that means is, well, let's see what it's saying. Public int sub multi, okay? Oh yeah, not sub, what am I doing? Divide. Alright, we want to return x over y. X times y, okay? Okay, a little pretty, alright, whatever. And then, right now, we can't access these methods from here because it is a static method, right? So what we're going to do, first let's handle the addition and subtraction, okay? So what operation do you want to do? They're going to give us something, and then we're going to do something with that information. We can do if. So we can use either if statements or a switch to determine which operation we want to do. So let's use, I don't really like using a switch, so I'm just going to do if statements because I like ifs. So if, it's like the same thing basically. If OP is equal to, so equal to is not going to work, dot equals is what you want to do. So that's when you compare strings. So if OP equals to add, OP is equal to add, then what do you want to do? You want to run the add function, correct? Add x, comma, y. Those are the two parameter it intakes. Okay. Next, let's check. I don't even know if that's a thing here. Also if, yeah, also if op dot equals sub, then we're gonna do this right over here, sub x comma y, right? Now let's repeat that for the other operation. Over here, we can do multi, and then here we can compare division. It seems to be the most efficient thing we have, so multi, you'll see we're gonna get some errors now, right? Because these methods are non-static. So how do we access these methods? Well, we can create an object of homework class, right? So we can do homework class name h equals new homework here. Now this is the class is referencing this homework. So there's a constructor right over here. So we're making a reference to the homework class pretty much, and that means we can access the static methods as well now. I mean non-static methods, okay? So now what you do is we do h dot, now see we can access it. So h dot, and yeah. All 4 operations should be in a separate class, okay? That's very simple. If you want to do that, we can just copy the whole thing, right? It's right here. Just put it in a separate class. Very simple. We open up what we're working on right now. Create another class. New class. Let's call this operations in uppercase, because that's how we declare classes. We don't need the main method. Put those down. And then now what we want to do, save this, and we want to use those methods in this operations class. How do we do that? Well, instead of using the homeworks class and create an object of the homework class, since the methods don't belong there, we cannot create an object of the operations class, right? So we can do something like operations equals new operations. Okay. And then now should be able to use them. H dot. There we go. This is, yeah, these variables can be these methods can be accessed in a static way, but you can also do it non-statically, like this. If you want to do it in a static way, you can just directly refer to the class name. Operations. Right? Now those errors are gone. Alright. So let's see if it works, right? Number 1, 10. Number 2, 100. What do I want to do? I'm going to add. Well, we never print anything, right? So, over here, we actually return it. So, what we want to do here is we want to do just like that. Let's do that for all of them. Keep doing that. Okay, I think we're done. Now we can just do that, and we can try again. What do I want to do? I want to add them. Now we get 110, so that works. Let's make sure all the operations are working. So let's pick another one. 900, 100. Just pick like 9. What do we want to do? We want to divide. 900 divided by 9. What do you expect? 100, right? 100. Nice. Get it. And we can try another operation. Let's try 918 times 122. Is that the answer? Hopefully. Yes, we get that. So yeah, it seems like we created it, so we're good. Now let's move on. Ask the user for a string and print if the string is a palindrome. Okay, this is really interesting. So let's get rid of everything we have right here. Do something like right? And then okay. So what we can do is what is this? Okay, great. Alright, so number two. So let's work on number two. Ask the user for a string and print if the string is a palindrome, right? So how are we gonna do this? So first let's ask for a string. So s string str equals scanner s dot next, right? Alright. Now, what are we gonna do with the string? Well, we want to compare the first value to the last value, or if the word is like hello, here, we want to compare the first value to the opposite end, and then that's how we're going to determine if it's a palindrome, right? So, let's try it. What are we going to do? Well, let's iterate through each of the values, right? So let's do something like for loop, and then let's do, in order to iterate through the values, first let's convert it to a character array. So we can do character array, the array equals str dot to character array, right? Now, after that, we want to set up our counter. So I for index, so integer index is how we're going to count it. I equals to 0, comma, not comma, sorry. We'll think of the condition later, I plus plus. Condition is going to be till we're not at the end of the array. We're going to keep comparing, right? So we'll do something like, actually we don't need to be at the end of the array. All we need to do is compare up to the middle point. So let's see, how are we going to create the logic for that? So if you have a word like race car, that is a 2, 3, 4. That's an odd number of letters. So 1. So let's see. We're gonna compare this one with this one, this one with this one, this one with this one, and this one with itself. We don't need to keep comparing, right? We don't need to keep comparing backwards, but we can if we'd like. So all we really have to do is repeat it for the word, take the word length, and then divide that by 2. Well, that means we can also get a decimal. So we have 7 here. 7 divided by 2 would be like 3.5. So we can't iterate through 3.5 words. So if we can somehow round that down to 3, actually we should round it up to 4 because we need to go through each one, right? We don't really need to actually. You can just go to the third one and yeah, run this up to 3 then down to 3. But if you have another word like mom, actually no, like that, right? We can just do 4, so 4 divided by 2 equals 2. So it's just gonna go through 2 of them. Okay, that's totally fine. So over here the condition is gonna be str dot length function, I mean method, divided by 2. And what are we gonna do with this? We're gonna run it down. Now how do we do that? I think we have something like math.floor. However, that takes a, I think it's double, does it? What is it taking? Math.floor, it takes a double value. So we gotta convert this to a double somehow. I think we can do something like this, can we? Okay, maybe we can do... Okay. Alright, now we just convert it to the appropriate value. Okay, so let's see what is going on here. Also, we get an integer here, so that's totally fine. We can do something like so whatever's in these parentheses. Just trying to convert it to a string so it's not gonna error. Okay. Right. So now nothing's wrong. Sorry. So all we have to do here is make sure that I is less than this value, less than or equal to. Alright, nice. Alright. So now what we need to do is just compare. So we can do C array. And then we can do I equal to. I'm gonna set up more of the logic later, so we just need to compare it first. So we need to see if this one is equal to. So say we're over here, we need to compare it to the end. So how are we gonna do that? We don't have any other counter available. But you know what? We can make another one. So we can do something like E for the end, I guess, starting at the end. So we can do like E equals 0, I think. Nice. Then we could do something like E. We're gonna start at 0. We're gonna start at length. Wait. Minus 1. So it starts at the last index. We could do like E minus minus. Yeah, nice. C array is equal to C array E. So if they're equal, then we're gonna keep going. So that means we're gonna keep going. Yes, we're gonna keep going. If we're not, okay, actually. So this thing is gonna return true until it finds two that are not equal. Like for example here, it's gonna go to the first one. Is it equal to the last one? Yes. And go here. Are they equal? No. Then after that we want to immediately break out of here because it's not true anymore. So what we want to do is something like break if it's not equal. So if not true, so if this condition is not true, then we break out. Before we break out, if it's not true, we're gonna break out. But before we break out, we want to say something like it is not a palindrome. And then here, sorry, else, we want to say something like, it is a palindrome. Great. I think that's the logic. Let's see if it works. We don't even run it once, so might have some errors, but let's see anyways. There's so many things going on here. The chance for errors, they're very likely, but let's try it anyways because we like challenges. Okay, so we got to put an integer, so let's do that. Put in like, wait, integer? No, string, sorry. Do wow. Oh, it just printed it as a palindrome twice. Okay. Right, so we don't want to run this immediately, right? We only want to run it at the end. How do we do that? We do that by comparing it to this condition right over here. Because that's what's going to specify that we're at the end. So we're going to take this whole thing right over here. Else if condition right here. Also if we were at the end, I is equal to this. Okay. And I also I is equal to that. Yeah. Alright. We're just gonna go through it. Let's see if that works now. Nice. It only print once. Let's try the race car example now. It's a palindrome. Nice. Now let's just, I mean, I think some people are gonna be confused about how this is working, so I guess we can just like print out like the logic, like what is going on in here. So we can do something like right over here, we can just print these two values because these are the main things we're comparing, right? So let's print these out. Let's print this one out, and then let's print out this one here as well. Alright, and then after that, sorry. Why is it not letting me? Here we go. Alright, let's print on the same line because I'm gonna get confused. Let's put a space after this, please. There we go. What are the errors here? What? Oh. Okay. Now let's do wow. Okay. Not exactly making sense. Okay. So over here we're comparing what this is saying. W to what are we comparing the W with? Maybe I'll do this. I don't know. Like that. Oh, okay. Let's go bring this one to that one, and then we can do print ln over here. Right. I just want to make it pretty, so it looks. This one makes sense, okay? Oh, right, there we go. So it's comparing the W to the W. It's comparing the O to the O. That's exactly what we want. Now it's a palindrome, correct? Nice. And then let's do it again. Race car. Alright, so it's comparing the R to the R, A to the A, C to the C, and then the E to the E, and it just stops there. We don't need to go anymore because, well, we're at the end, right? What's the point of continuing to go? Right? And then let's try one more time. Let's compare father. So let's see what it did. It compared the F to the R, and immediately it knew that it is not a palindrome. And what did it do after that? It broke out of here, so it doesn't need to keep going, comparing, okay? Alright, now let's move on. Ask the user for a number and print out odd if the number is odd, otherwise print even. Okay, this is very elementary stuff. Hold on. I'm just trying to comment these out. I don't know the comment shortcut, so whatever, let's do this. Okay, so let's do int I equals s dot next int, okay? Now, what are we gonna do with this? Ask for a number and print out if it's odd. Okay, now we need some logic. If, let's just put some logic here, odd. If it's odd, then we're gonna be doing this over here, okay? If it's odd, that's where the odd logic is gonna go. Then what do you want to do? We want to print out odd. We want to do sys odd. Else, what do we do? Else we print even, okay? Easy. Make it uppercase. Alright. Now we need to create a Boolean condition here. How do we do that? We're gonna see there's a special operator we can use. So we can do I and then a modulo. So this will print out the remainder. So give the remainder if whatever number we put is divided by 2. So say we put 4. 4 divided by 2 would be 2, right? There's no remainders, and this would be true. And what does that mean? If we can divide any number by 2, that means it is even, correct? So this is basically gonna check if the number is even, right? That's how it works. And then this else statement. Oh, gotta close the if. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, let's try that. What is this about? I don't really know. That's. I need to delete that. I think I forgot to get rid. Anyways, so let's start it. Okay, so let's put a number like 10. Okay, it's odd. See, it's not working. Let's see why it's not working. Oh, if it's even, we're printing out odd. We don't want to do that. So we can just solve it by putting a not over here. This is saying if this is even, basically, then no, if this is odd, then print out odd. If it's even, print out even. Now, we can do 10 even. Do like a hard number. How about like 2001? We know that's going to be odd. Odd. So great. I think it works out now. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.